You're listening to a Mamamia podcast.
Mamamia acknowledges the traditional owners of land and waters that this podcast is recorded on.
I've always wanted to try the color analysis thing, and I'm so glad there's finally a filter for it. But I need your help now. I have no idea what season I am. What do you think?
Mamamia Out Loud! Hello and welcome to Mamamia Out Loud. I'm Holly Wainwright.
I'm Mia Freedman.
And I'm Jessie Stevens.
And today we have a very special episode for you. You may have heard us obsessing lately about a certain something, and that is our colours. Our colours, the colours we should wear, the science of colours. I think you started it, Jessie Stevens.
I saw it on TikTok and then I became like one of those internet experts who thinks that they can Google something and go deep into a hole and nail it, even though I have no background. In fact, I'm very bad with colours.
Turns out you got quite close.
I got quite close because I studied really hard, but we actually thought, why don't we do something we never do, which is
get an expert. So if you're going, what are you talking about with your colours? What colours you should wear is dictated by what season you are. Mm-hmm. And colour experts, like the wonderful Kim Crowley, who joins us today, can read you. And they can tell you exactly what season you are and then give you a whole range of colours you can wear. Kim, welcome.
Thank you.
How did you become a colour expert, Kim?
I'm a former fashion designer, so I had to know colour, but I thought I knew everything there was to know about colour because I was putting collections in store, particularly in England. And then I had to learn this when I upskilled to become a personal stylist. And I thought, I'm just going to skip over it. It's a bit boring, isn't it? A bit obsolete, a bit dated.
Yeah, because it was big in the, 80s
absolutely.
or something?
People used to say, have you had your colours done?
I know.
And it was kind of like of the era of Tupperware parties.
Exactly. And I didn't want to be associated with that. So I was like, I'm just going to skim over it. In fact, I'm going to pull it apart to disprove it because it's no longer applicable. Otherwise, it would have trickled down to our generation. And then I started pulling it apart. And I was like, oh, God damn it, I love it. Totally fell in love with the science of colour. And then I've used it every day since.
And you've got a business called Style Sense. Mm-hmm. That's what you do.
Absolutely. It's part of what I do. So it's often the beginning of what I do because once you understand your colours and the types of colours that suit you, because it's about types of colour. Mm-hmm. It's not about saying, oh, Holly, blue suits you. It's the type of blue. You need a more aqua-y blue. Then we can actually then build your colour capsule around your palette and forget all that other stuff that just doesn't belong to you.
So everybody, regardless of skin tone, and there are many, many, many skin tones, of course, regardless of skin tone, you can generally fit someone on the wheel of the seasons.
Absolutely. It's a seasonal wheel. Absolutely. Every single person sits on there in the whole wide world, men, women, everybody. And then there's spokes across the wheel because that's what makes it complicated.
Oh,
yeah.
Fun. Like star signs. So when we got involved in this in the first place, Jessie diagnosed herself and myself as being springs.
I thought we were the same, and this is why, because this was my top line understanding, was something about light hair, light eyes, fair skin-ish. And then I thought that Mia was an autumn because she has dark eyes, dark hair and olivey skin.
Yes.
There's more to it than that, isn't there?
There is. Yeah. And that's when it gets complicated. For Mia, for example, you're a little bit easier to diagnose because all your three features are warm. So you've got warm hair, warm skin, warm eyes, same as me, right? So we're warm. So we're a bit easier.
And I'm quite down to earth, so my colours are quite earthy.
She needs.
I'm not allowed
so
to
I'm an autumn.
Yeah.
Which I always suspected but didn't want to face because I was like, oh, it's just like burnt orange and brown.
No, some beauty. No,
exactly.
That's the thing. We all have kind of preconceived ideas of what that season might look like. But because colour has had to modernise, because the way we wear colour now is different, the way colour is put into store. So when I used to design, it was very much grey-based colour. And most of my clients, when I ask them the 4 main colours that they wear before I meet them, they will say black, white, grey and a bit of blue. Okay, so that's a really easy palette that we've been wearing for years, decades. Our parents, our grandparents, we see it in interiors, right?
So you feel like you can't go wrong with those colours because they're like non-colours.
Exactly, but you can go wrong.
And you do because
none of those are yours.
None of those are mine.
Or mine.
And none of those are a lot of people's, right?
Exactly. So it's so interesting how we don't really think about colour. We just buy into a palette and we think it's the right thing to do because there's loads of black, white, grey and blue in store.
So
and
it feels like the neutrals.
Exactly.
And they'll go with everything.
Exactly. So we never really question, is this right for me? Is this blue right for me? And actually, once we start looking at it, it's a whole other fascinating side of colour because the more you shop into your palette, the more your wardrobe's going to work together, mix and match.
What about when the universe isn't in agreement with you? So you know how we'll all be told this is the blue everyone's wearing this winter, this is the pink everyone's wearing right now, and it's not in your season.
Leave it.
So you just
Keep
like,
doing
well,
your
I'm not going to be
season.
fashionable this season.
Do you know
But you will be fashionable.
But
But
I'm ever fashionable anyway.
The best thing about getting my colours done when Kim did them and knowing what they are definitively, the way I described it is it turns down the noise in getting dressed, in making outfits and in shopping.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't mean if there's a colour that's not right on you, it doesn't mean you have to throw it away or you can't wear it. But it explains a lot of things in my wardrobe that I don't wear.
Yeah.
And I'll often go, oh, I don't wear it because it's the wrong style or it's not in fashion or it's whatever. Or I just don't vibe with it. But the reason I don't vibe with it is that when I put it on, it makes my face look what? If you're wearing the wrong colour for your season, what does it do to you? Just makes you look...
Can look tired, can look ill. For a lot of people, if they're really cold, like Lee Campbell, if we put a yellow-based colour on here, she's going to look really yellow and ill, right? For you, if we put grey-based colour on you, you're going to look really ill.
And you said to me, because I said, I love this kind of bluey grey colour, and you just said to me, sometimes we love a colour that doesn't love us back. And I keep
so
thinking
true.
about that all the time.
And everyone knows the experience of going to work, going somewhere and someone's like, that colour looks nice.
Yes.
And you can't explain what it is. Like, are we looking for things that complement our skin tone or something that like brings it out? How do
Echoes
you
it.
explain
Absolutely.
that?
We want to remain balanced. That's what we want to do, right? We want to look enhanced. So we want to look like we're a bit rosier cheeked. We want to look like we've got a tinted moisturiser on. Yeah, exactly. Because when we're wearing a colour that's not right for us, you know, when we feel a bit kind of like, oh, I should have put more blusher on. And I need to change my lipstick or my hair.
washed out.
We think about changing ourselves and we don't need to change ourselves. Women are always trying to change themselves. And a lot of what makes me so passionate about this system is that it does explain exactly the reason why you're gorgeous as you are. Stop changing, stop faffing around.
What about if you dye your hair and you mess with your colours, which we, you know, and we wear mascara and we dye our eyebrows and all that stuff?
Yep.
Am I changing my season?
Yeah. Well, no, you're not changing your season, but you're not complementing it. So maybe what you're doing, if you're doing a radical hair change, which some clients do, you're then pushing your spring into maybe a winter or another season. So you're starting to fight. So therefore, all the clothes that you've enjoyed, Holly, like this beautiful turquoise, you're going to be like, oh, it's not doing what it used to.
So if Holly, who is naturally blonde, like completely naturally blonde, if she then went dark brown, that would
flatten you.
Fuck with her colour season.
Yeah.
What if, like, I don't even know what colour I am anymore, probably mousy brown, and I've gone a bit brondy.
Gorgeous.
But what would be bad if I went...
If we, and I say we, because we're both warm and autumn, so if we go grey, we don't look good.
There's a good reason not to go grey.
So, you know...
So when we see women like who look amazing grey, it's more to do with their colours than it is...
Because they're cold or cool and they look amazing. So all my warmer clients, I will say, and I very rarely say this to people to try a bit harder to keep their colour, but I will tell them, keep your colour, keep your warmth naturally, because if you've got, you know, a warm hair, warm skin, warm eye, and suddenly one of the components, your hair, goes very cold, you've
because grey is always cold.
It's cold. You've thrown out your...
Okay.
And then they don't feel very good about themselves.
Yeah.
So the reason, it's a cold and a cool person that looks grey, I'm like, let's go and embrace it. You look amazing. Let's just make a couple of tweaks to your makeup or whatever it might be. But my warmer toned people, I'm like, stay with me. Let's just keep going and masking the grey because we're going to look better for longer.
So Holly and I, we're both fair and we're both blonde. So on the surface, we look like we might be part of the same season, but we're not.
No, because you're cooler, Jessie.
Yeah.
And Holly's warmer.
So I'm a...
You're spring/light spring.
I'm spring,
and
light
you're
spring.
summer/light summer. Okay.
Right. And so
you're
cooler colours work on me.
Yes, so more blue-based colour and you're more pink than peach.
So even though you would think summer sounds like a warm season, therefore warm colours, it's not. It's not that.
This is why this is very complicated.
It's why you have to look at it.
why
and
we need professional guys.
Also, why podcasting is possibly not the best medium for this.
I have a question. Is there any colour that suits everyone?
There's actually a few. So a burgundy and a kind of mid-navy is generally really good, and a pine green and an off-white.
Oh.
So they're generally going to look good on pretty much every person, which is why I used to design with a lot of those colours.
Yeah.
And it's only now, 20 odd years later, I'm going, oh, Oh, so that's why they sold.
More than black.
Yeah.
Whereas everyone thinks, oh, black suits everyone. It doesn't.
But black, no one ever thinks about. It's only when we put a colour on our body that isn't black or white or grey that we start to question it. And I'm like, it's hilarious how we haven't questioned all the wrong colours. We often then question the right colours.
I want to ask about sequins.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
Yep. And textures.
I thought you'd gone off sequins.
I have gone off sequins,
bit,
but
yeah.
I'm interested to know where a sequin fits in.
Mm-hmm. All in your colours. So bronze, gold.
So just
if you
warm
want the
sequins,
metallic.
not
Yep.
cold sequins.
Exactly.
How
So
about
it's just the
exactly.
same.
leopard print? Can Mia wear leopard print?
Absolutely. Mia looks amazing in leopard
But
print.
a warm leopard,
warmer
not
one.
a cold one.
You're better in your tall peacock. You know the brown that I put on
Yeah.
you, which we'll probably put a photo of, that brown for you, which is a bit softer, more prissy, that's your leopard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
just-
this extends to jewellery too, right? Whether you're a
Everything.
gold or a silver person.
Yeah.
So is there a rule like summer is gold and winter is silver? Like what's the rule?
So spring and autumn, which are more warm, are more gold. And then your summer and your winter are more silver. So when I say silver, it's umbrellaing white gold, platinum, silver. But Jessie, because you're a bit of light summer as well, you can actually do a little bit of pale gold.
Yeah,
It really looks nice because you've got a bit of gold in your eye. So your cool skin, cool hair, little bit of warmth in your eye. So that's where you can go a little bit warmer with your metals.
There's a trend on TikTok where I
Oh, yeah.
discovered a lot of this,
Another one.
which is about going back to your roots, right?
Yes. Yeah,
so
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of people, especially blondes, who have gone, my true colour season says that I should be a dark brown or whatever.
Yep.
Would you encourage people who feel like that it's not really working to kind of look back at what their natural colouring is?
Absolutely. I often say to people, go back to what you are. So what's really interesting, when I'm analysing people and they're coming to me, I look at the roots of their hair, so often underneath at the back where we don't always colour, and then I literally pull the ends of their hair to their roots, right?
Yeah.
And often it's like A to Z,
Yes.
right? And what
Big
I'm
contrast.
saying is, and we almost want D, E and F in the middle, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because we're going from one extreme on the ends to from our natural. And really what we're born with, we only really want to go 2 shades darker or lighter ideally with our hair
Interesting.
from a colourist point of view as
Yeah.
well. But obviously a lot of hairdressers want to lock you into going
Yeah.
extreme. One, because they think that's going to make you happy, but 2, because you'll be revisiting them a
Yeah,
lot.
you have to keep going back.
But where you sit, Jessie, it's one of the hardest, and your hair colour is beautiful because you have tones of warm and cool blonde, which
Yeah,
are
it's true.
perfect for you. And I often see people who sit where you sit go very white blonde because it's easier for
Yes.
hairdressers to do that rather than get a very particular
Because
kind
Remember
of
when
used
you went
to go-
Lucius Malfoy?
And
That's
I also used to they used to want me to go ashy and I didn't like ash. Ash used to make me look sick. It
Yeah,
used
exactly,
to just not.
exactly.
And I used to have to try and explain the tone of the
Yes.
blonde, not the colour, but the exact
Yes,
tone
I
because it looks so
know.
different.
Yeah.
You've got quite good colour
You've got
instincts.
beautiful-
Except for the black you wear around your eyes because, as Kim was explaining to us, but I think my instincts are good as well because I've always said I feel like it's too harsh on
Yes,
your eyes
yes.
and I was correct.
And look, I've been better lately, but then today I did default.
But Jessie, also remember you could go softer in the colour, so a bit more navy, a bit more olive, khaki, etc., rather than black.
Yep.
But you can also go softer as in more of a powder as opposed to a line.
Okay.
Does that make
How
sense?
about a brown?
No,
more of a green?
More of a green. More of a green or a navy.
All right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to
Yeah.
do it on Wednesday. I'll
Yeah,
come
yeah,
in.
yeah.
I'll wear a green.
Brown,
and-
light brown is good, but not chocolate. It's too dark and masculine for
Okay,
you.
but like a lighty brown.
Yes.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
going to try
Is
Yeah.
this
that.
like
pinky
a
brown.
curse, Kim, like an I see dead people curse? Do you walk around all the time just looking at people and going, you're wearing all the wrong things? Like want to tap them on the shoulder in the lift and just be like, Dal, not that yellow. No, no, no.
If they're not asking my opinion, I'll try and keep my mouth closed. But I have run after people before
I
and
hadn't
gone,
thought of that. I saw someone when I went for my mammogram the other day that was wearing the wrong colour and I wanted to tap her on the shoulder and say love. But I figured, no one's having their best day. Getting a mammogram, she probably didn't need that from
Probably
me.
wrong as well.
You ran after someone once and you said,
I often run after people when they're wearing the right colour and go, oh my God, that colour looks amazing on you. Because often people say, oh, that looks great on you. My clients go, oh, but hang on, I've been told this pink looks amazing on you. I'm like, but did they say it looks amazing on you or do they like the colour though?
Yes, I've noticed a real difference. So
Yeah.
last week I bought a shirt in a colour that I wouldn't have normally. It was like a light terracotta-y colour.
yeah.
And I did a Instababble. My Instagram was full of comments, like almost every single one. That colour looks amazing on you.
Yep.
Other times, if I'm wearing a really bright, vibrant colour, they might say, I love that colour.
Yeah.
But it was very interesting that they all said the same thing because the
That looks
colour in
amazing on
itself
you.
wasn't that interesting. It enhanced
Your
my
natural beauty.
Yeah.
But Mia, that's what's really interesting, though, right?
Insufferable.
A lot of my clients don't particularly. So when I'm doing, a shop for them, I'll pre-shop for them, right? So I get all their colours and shapes and styles and outfit them all for them and show them how their palette interacts, right? Because that's really the genius part of this whole system, how well it interacts. And a lot of the time, my clients are like, "Oh, this colour's okay. All right, I'll try it on. Oh my God, I love it on me."
Yeah.
Okay. And they're like, "What have you done? This witchcraft?" I think the girls said it last week when I was in, and it was hilarious. Like I was putting a spell on them or something. And I'm like,
Because you've never picked it up before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you're like, we don't know. How are we meant to know? Like we never learn how to dress ourselves. And that's what I think is the most fascinating
Should be taught in
thing.
schools.
So it should. There should be like English,
Instead
maths,
of STEM.
colours.
No, right. Like I like
STEM's
blue
overrated.
or trying to wean myself off it because if I walk into a shop, I just will gravitate to the blue rack, right?
Yeah.
I have so many blue tops and so many blue whatever. Did I know? I just knew that was the right thing. Like it was
Because it makes
in
you feel
me.
good.
So you should feel good in the colours that are yours, right?
Absolutely. That's the difference, Holly, because I can make people look better instantly, but it's the feeling better part. That's the bit that I care about most. I want you to feel better in your clothes.
I have a question. Okay, you're at home. You're thinking about your colours.
As I often do.
Yeah,
Ponder.
yeah. Where do people start? So someone's listening and they're going, "Oh, wait, I have blue eyes and brown hair and dark skin. I have absolutely no idea." Where do they start?
So we've done a little checklist actually from the Nothing to Wear podcast that I did. We've done a little checklist for you. So we're just popping that
Brilliant.
together.
We've put a whole lot of because you can imagine how obsessed I've been. So
She's hyper-focused.
I've hyper-focused on this. So we've put a whole hub of content where you can work out what your colour is, find the best colours for you. And of course, if people want to find you, they need to look up Style Sense.
Yep, stylesense.net.au, or look at my Insta. I've got loads of examples on there as well, style.sense. And you can then see people that hopefully will look like you, because hopefully now both of you, Holly and Jessie, now you're next to each other, right? And we've done a little bit of colour work. Hopefully you can see what's unique about you rather than bundling you together.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Because now I can go onto Pinterest and look up like summer and it will give me, because now I
Exactly.
know what to Google.
And what I've done is I've printed out my best colours, but also my worst colours, and I've
Yes.
put them,
Yes.
stuck them on my mirror.
You need them in your wallet.
Yeah,
Except you don't have a wallet because you're too cool.
Because I don't. But if only you could take a photo and have it on your phone, Hol. Imagine that. I find it so helpful to be reminded of what my worst colours are.
Yes, to keep you away from them.
Oh, I have one more question. Fluoros. Really hard, right? Because
really
they're
hard.
cold.
Yeah,
All
they're really,
fluoros
really,
are cold.
really, really cold.
Can anyone wear them?
They are very, 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 very hard. So
Yeah.
probably
Here's
no.
a question, though,
You have to
about
work
that might
harder.
allow one to wear fluoro. Are we really mostly talking about the colours you wear near your face?
No.
What about things you wear on your bottom
We
half?
are talking about every single thing you put on your body. Every single thing. Because I've had clients that are like, "I don't have pretty feet." And I'm like, no, you've got great feet. You just need to change your nail varnish colour and your shoe colour. And then they're like, "Oh my God,
My
I
feet
can
are
wear."
beautiful.
Suddenly.
Oh, so you can't wear fluoro pants with your navy top.
Oh, wow.
Well, if you really love, because I'm not ever going to
Don't
say
worry,
to
I don't
anyone,
want to.
you cannot ever wear a colour. That's not the way I teach. The way I teach is the more you shop into your palette, the better you're going to feel, the less clothes you have to own, the less money you spend, the less thinking you'll have to do, the less waste. It's just brilliant. And once the clarity that you get from being able to shop, right? And a shop assistant goes, "Oh, Kim, you should try on this lovely yellow." I'm like, no, lemon yellow is not good for me.
Yes.
Can you show me the mustard? I can converse with her to get me to the point where I'm going to make a purchase quicker, smarter. I take that home, that mustard garment, and I'm like, "Oh, can I make 3 outfits? Oh, I can make 13 or 30.
Because it works with your palette.
It works with everything. And that's the
Clever.
quantifying this, where I've seen clients before and they're like, "No, I'm going to skip the colour analysis part." I'm like, "Cool, we'll just outfit your wardrobe," because that's the other part of what I do. So literally pull their wardrobe out and we start to outfit it all in brand new outfits, right? Things they've never thought about. We create maybe 30 to 40 new outfits if they haven't had a colour analysis. When they've done a colour analysis, it's about 90.
Wow.
90 brand new outfits. So if you don't think this works, think again. It is so amazing. And that's why so many of my clients are so passionate about this colour system as I am.
I can
because we
see
know it
that because
works.
suddenly, like that shirt that I bought in that sort of corally terracotta colour, suddenly it's pulled together so many things in my wardrobe. It's so interesting.
And I need rules because I'm not intuitive about fashion and I really struggle with it and I want to think about it less and I want to know when I'm looking online and I go,
it's hard online though, right? Because you never know whether what you're looking at online is the right colour.
Yes, but even walking into shops, I just go, obviously you got to try it on for the size, but I'm like, I'm starting from zero every time I look for something to wear.
So what we want to do, we want to go into store and you go, oh no, that pink's a bit too much.
Yeah.
Oh, here's my pink, and then you shop into shape. Right? So you go, you can see your colours and then it's shape second, because once you've taken the risk of colour out, all you've got to then do is figure out, do I like the shape? Is it the right? Do I need to go down a size? Probably.
Yeah.
And all those things. The risk of colour is taken out. So you're shopping, you get to where you need to get so much quicker because not everything is meant for you. And when I realised that about my own...
so much easier.
It was like, I'm not trying to fight with black and silver.
Not like
metal.
needle in a haystack stuff.
Yes.
Kim, life-changing, clearly. And also Out Louders, we're wearing the colours we're meant to be wearing right now.
Yes, we
That's
are.
Mia's palette. She's wearing all of them at once.
It's a little bit brighter,
She's
but
actually-
it's
Kim's
just
not
on the
quite
spring.
sure.
I'm not. I'm the only fail.
This is the right blue for me, apparently.
Yep, this is
beautiful.
the right one for me.
Those are Jessie's colours. So thank you, Kim. Of
so
course you're
welcome.
wearing your colour.
course.
Looks bloody lovely.
I do go off palette sometimes, but very rarely.
Check our show notes for all the links.